also the Ridgeway family for making fake pages and soliciting money and stuff. And I think it's really important that you go talk to her because she's involved in a criminal conspiracy with the man who murdered JonBenet Ramsey. And he is under investigation right now by the FBI. And he is also the one who organized Jessica Ridgeway's abduction and got SIG to put his DNA on it and take the heat for the group right now. And I believe that it would be worth talking to them to find out what they know about Dylan because he was abducted right in the middle of their abductions that they were doing, pulling around across the Denver.
Where's this Kimberly Bowman?
She lives here in Arvada, Colorado.
Okay.
Denver area, yeah.
And so, what was her role? She set up a site to collect money. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Well, what she did in February, this actually goes back a couple years. But she was involved in a conspiracy to take my children away. I have 6 kids, and she has made repeated. She conspired with a man named Bob Enyart, and he is a local pastor here. He's a convicted child abuser, but he is a serial killer, and he knows it. That we know, and we've turned him into the police, and he's been threatening our lives, and he's been trying to cover up his tracks all over the internet and putting out disinformation. But she had confessed to a conspiracy with him back in February and put it in writing and everything, and we had turned all that in when we were getting death threats from them. But they've been repeatedly, just as early as New Year's Eve, trying to put out alerts to social services to take our children away, even though the report came back unfounded, but they kept accusing us of being child abusers and drug addicts and neglectful parents and whatnot. And she had confessed to that. And what she had done, she had conspired with the man who arranged for the abduction with Jessica Ridgeway, and she put up the Facebook page literally less than 60 seconds after the Westminster Police Department tweeted the Amber Alert. And it became suspicious when the page was asking for any tips about Jessica Ridgeway, and I was banned when I posted an alert about Bob Enyart. I was banned immediately, and then lots of other people began getting suspicious when they were banned, when they asked where the money went and how she knows the family. And then the Ridgeway family ended up getting a lawyer to tell her to shut the page down. She ended up stealing over $30,000 from the Ridgeway family, doing donations and stuff because it's a control of information. And so if you get to have the information where all the tips are going, then you get to censor the type of truth that you don't want to get out, and you could target individuals who are getting too close to. And so meanwhile, they're kidnapping the kids, and they're getting the tips, and they're putting out disinfo, pointing the finger at the parents. If you notice, you'll see a whole bunch of crap talking about the parents of Dylan Redwine, because this is a repeat of JonBenet Ramsey. They're trying it again. They're trying it again because they succeeded in blaming the parents with the Ramseys. And for 16 years, basically up until now, people are still blaming the Ramseys, and they're doing this with Dylan's family because they target broken families. And they target this. The custody battle was the same type of thing with the Ridgeways. They were in the middle of a custody battle, and so it makes it easy to blame the parents, and it's not the parents. It's them.
Okay, so let me get this straight. She's responsible for these murders and abductions of these children, and then she disguises her, she has these sites, collects, it's for profit, basically.
Yes, yes.
She points the finger at the parents.
Yes, it's for profit, it's to exploit the family, and it's to cover up. It's not like she's just some scumbag trying to exploit a dead child or a missing child. She's conspiring with the very people who stole the child. And so she's putting out disinformation in addition to making money off of it. They're also misleading the investigation on purpose.
Okay, so who's she conspiring with in this particular case?
I don't know. This is a tip. And so we know for a fact that she conspired with Bob Enyart. We know for a fact that she was the lead person involved with the Jessica Ridgeway page. We know for a fact that the Redwine family had asked her to stop using their son and to shut down their page and quit taking donations. And so it stands to reason that she's involved with his abduction, and Bob Enyart is the mastermind. He is the Charles Manson of the group. He's been been running this scam for decades here in Colorado, and he's been found out, and we have told him we know what he's done, and he is freaking out. And any day now, the FBI, any day now, literally, we've been waiting. We turned him in to the Boulder police the day Jessica Ridgeway went missing, and it's been an investigation ever since, and kids are showing up missing, and there was all these attempted abductions and stuff.
What's Law's last name again? How do you spell that?
It's Enyart. T
or D?
T, Enyart, as in Tom.
Enyart, okay, T as in Tom, okay. Mastermind.
Yes, yeah, he is, and he is just he is an extreme manipulator. He's a cult leader. He has a radio show in Denver. He's being sued by NPR right now because he's a thief. But he has a radio show at 6:70 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. And he's a Christian pastor, a pro-life pastor. And so he's been using his pro-life status as a cover to kill children. And I can give you his FBI number, his birthday number, his social security. We purchased all of his court documents. We've been doing a full year's investigation, figuring out why he's trying to take our kids. And it led us into discovering that he murdered JonBenet Ramsey, and that is a fact. His DNA is on there, and he's scared to death. He is absolutely freaking out, and so it's the last hurrah. He'll kill as many kids as he can, and until further notice, basically.
Okay.
But I have all their home addresses. I can give you anything you want, sir.
You need to talk to the FBI about this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's being looked at by the FBI?
Yes, he is. And so we turned in everything because they falsely accused us of murdering Jessica Ridgeway because we kept pointing the finger at them because we know it's them. And so they're trying to silence us. They've tried to get us arrested. They've been trying to get our kids taken. They've been trying to kill us. They've threatened to dismember our body, to leave our mutilated torso everywhere. They've threatened to rape our dead bodies, to decapitate us. This is serious. Our Northland department knows about this, and nobody seems to be doing anything. Either they're doing something or they're not. But I'm going to keep telling as many people as I can until I see some action.
And who's telling you this personally? Bob Enyart is saying he's going to rape and kill?
Well, what they do, what they do is they use anonymous identities, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out who's doing this, because what we've done is we've gone all over the internet, because he uses the internet. Kimberly Kay Bowman and Bob Enyart and their entire cult, they use fake identities. They have probably 20 to 100 at least at any given time that they're using. Male, female, black, white, gay, straight. They use any kind of fake identity other than themselves. And so we've studied them over the years, and there's an identity called the Super Psycho Killer on YouTube. And he, in response to us pointing the finger at Bob for murdering JonBenet, Doug McBurney is also a part of this. Doug McBurney, we believe, is the attack dog. He's the cutter upper, if you will. He likes to do the hands-on mutilated type of stuff. And so he is the one who gave us the death threat. And we know these people very personally because we were in the cult for about 10 years and we're whistleblowers now. So we know everything about these people. We are the key witnesses to these crimes. And so we know them online, and we know who they are, and we know how they react. And so when they tell us they're going to mutilate our body, and they describe exactly what they did to Jessica Ridgeway, and because we say we know it's you, it's not some random person in Alaska who's just firing off some steam on the internet. This is very personal. It's directed exactly to us, and we know who it's from. And so they're very, very scared of what we have to say, and that should tell you guys something.
So the Jessica Ridgeway case, who killed her?
Well, we believe that it's a conspiracy. And what happened, if you have a few minutes, I can tell you a little bit more of the background. We discovered that Bob Enyart murdered JonBenet Ramsey, and we had been in a process of exposing him for what he had done to us since the beginning of the year. What we did with the JonBenet Ramsey case, if you're familiar, there's a ransom note that he wrote, and we took the language in that ransom note and we flipped it on him. And we told him, hey, listen carefully. We have all your documents. We went on and on that we are going to expose you. We know what you've done. You need to deliver yourself. You need to deliver a large amount of proof with a handwritten note in a large brown paper bag and deliver it to law enforcement. And we wrote him a long ransom note, told him basically, you're screwed, we're in control, turn yourself in. And what happened was 1 month later, after we published this public ransom note, this reverse ransom note to Bob Enyart, 1 month later to the day, Jessica Ridgeway's backpack shows up in a large brown paper bag in the town of Superior on Alpha Court in Rock Creek, which is all symbolic for Bible talk. And so he organized that. He found out he was caught, and so this was a last hurrah. He organized this, and Kimberly Kay Bowman is clinically borderline personality disorder, and she has severe mental issues to where she is basically extremely stupid, where she will just do whatever anybody tells her to do, and she puts her name to it. She's very needy for attention, and so she was perfect. I don't believe she necessarily killed her, but she conspired to gather the information. She organized the balloon releases and the motorcycle and the tattoo benefit and all this and that. So all the while she's getting all the money, pocketing it. I'm friends with her daughter too, by the way, and her daughter confirmed all this for me, and her daughter has been under attack by her mom as well. And so when we told Bob that we know about JonBenet, Jessica happened 1 month later. And so he organized that. Now, he doesn't want another John Mark Carr to happen, because second that happened, we went all over the internet. I was sending him emails, his entire cult, the entire pro-life movement, everybody I could think of, saying Westminster needs to talk to Bob Enyart, because Bob Enyart knows what happened. And so what he did is they falsely accused us, said we did it. They came and took our DNA, cleared us, and then 2 days later, SIG. And what he did is he runs all these little gaming sites and stuff. He runs a bunch of websites on the internet. So he got SIG to come join a little orgy and get laid or do whatever these little gamers want to do. And he got involved way over his head, got involved in the cutting up of the body and raping a little 10-year-old. And boy, this 17-year-old who managed to have 1,000 cops and FBI running, he got scared and cried to mommy. And he went home and his mommy turned him in. And now he's taking the heat because his DNA is all over it, and he confessed, and Bob Enyart thinks that he's out of trouble now. And so he did that on purpose, because John Mark Carr was a mess up and his DNA wasn't on the scene, and so he got away with it. And so Bob Enyart's DNA is on JonBenet, and he's very scared of that.
And how do you know that?
Well, put it this way. We've been blasting Bob Enyart directly for 3 months now, and he has not said anything. He's only come in anonymously and tried to deny it and discredit us. Yeah. And so the fact that he's a public figure, I've been telling him directly, sending all 12 of his emails and all 100 of his followers directly. And so it's no secret that he knows. I called his show directly and told him the FBI's coming for you. And he hung up on me. Okay, so he knows. He knows. He's scared. He's scared. Go talk to him. Here's the thing. Go talk to him. I could be lying, but go talk to him.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm lying, go find out from him, because he wrote all about JonBenet on his ShadowGov website. His ShadowGov is the small foreign faction spoken of. He wrote all about it in great detail, how John Ramsey and Patsy Ramsey did it. And now he's saying Burke did it, the 9-year-old at the time. And so he's going into great detail on how John Ramsey went and got the DNA from an adult bookstore or a striptease club back there in 1996, and how that DNA is impossible from an intruder's perspective. It has to be from some striptease club that John went out and gathered in the middle of the night and put tissue under her fingernails too. I mean, read it. It's on shadowgov.com. You can read his account of what happened to the Ramseys.
Okay.
Didn't get his or any of theirs?
Yeah, and the thing about it is we've been telling the cops, Westminster, and everything about them, and they went out and took 700 DNA swabs, people in the cell phone towers and people falsely accused like me. They haven't taken the Bowmans, and they haven't taken Enyarts. And I don't really know how a sting goes, but I assume that when you're a number one suspect, you're just being watched. And this is the type of criminal that he's in charge of hundreds, if not thousands, of missing children, rapes and murders, and hookers in the 80s that showed up missing. Any kind of dead body cold case that you guys can't figure out, you can look at Bob Enyart, and you'll probably be able to get some answers, and I'll promise you that.
And he's in the Colorado Springs area?
No, he's in Arvada. Well, he actually has several addresses, but his main location is here in Denver.
And he's on NPR. He has a
No,
Christian
nope. He's being sued by NPR because he.
NPR.
Yes, because he stole. He stole the Science Friday show from NPR, and now NPR is suing him because he's a criminal and a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Kim Bowman is an associate of his.
Yes, it's Bowman, Bowman.
She was in the news.
And she was in the news. She was in the news 3 times, 9 News and Fox News.
Spell that name
W.
B-O-W-M-A-N.
Yeah.
Was she was the one. She was the woman that set up an online charitable account for people to donate money.
It's called the Colorado Missing Children's Foundation is what she started. She used the tax ID of Denver Bible Church, which is Bob's church. Let me also tell you their motto. Ben Vargas is a known Satanist that was in partnership with her, and since he's supposedly resigned. But one of their mottos for their missing children's organization is it's only a missing person if you can find a body. Or I'm sorry, it's only a murder if you could find a body. Otherwise, it's just a missing person.
They didn't think you would be able to find them.
Yeah, so this is the kind of individuals we're dealing with here that think it's cute to make kids disappear and take money for people while you look for them while they're probably dead, cut up somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah, precisely.
Okay. So their organization pretty much is they're an occult.
Yeah.
And they profit off of missing people.
Yes. Do you want me to give you their addresses or do you need any information? Okay. So Bob Enyart, this is his last known home address. It is 6126 Brawn, B-R-A-W-N.
U-N.
Oh, U-N. I'm sorry. That was spelled wrong. Court. And that's in Arvada.
Arvada, okay.
And then Kimberly Kay Bowman and her husband Scott, their last known address is 13400 West 65th Avenue in Arvada. If I can give you my website too, you can see the kind of public exposure we've been putting out against Bob Enyart, and for a man of his influence to ignore us repeatedly, that says something significant because he's come in anonymously hundreds of times, and we know it's him. You could look us up on YouTube, and we found all of his fake IDs, and we've exposed him every which way we can. But for someone. You see, when we were being told that we were murderers and we were framed for vandalism earlier this year, and when we were being accused of being child abusers and drug addicts, we didn't just ignore those allegations. We went and cleared our name because that's a lie. And so that's what innocent people do. They go clear their name. Now, Bob Enyart, he won't talk about it at all. He won't say anything. And so, and another thing you should know about Bob Enyart, he's one of the most radical right-to-life activists that you can find. And he talks, before Jessica happened, for 4 years straight, all he talked about was how bad it was to dismember children and how wrong it was to dismember unborn babies and dismember and rip their arms and legs off and stuff like that. And so he's the only one with that kind of mindset anyway. And so he if you guys get your criminal profiler on the team, you'll see that this is the classic case of the religious psychopath killer. I mean, straight up, no conscience, evil, lie to your face, and kill little kids and get on the radio and preach about how bad it is to murder in the name of Jesus. And so this is straight up evil. And this man kills kids by the hundreds, thousands. I have no idea. It's been decades. Let me give you.
Does he have a church, or does he have a place where these people, this cult gather?
Yep, it's off of 72nd in Oak, right down the street from where Jessica's body was found. It's in a charter school called Two Roads Charter School. It used to be Maranatha, but it's right off of 72nd and Oak Street. He also does his radio show there at 3 o'clock every day, as far as I know.
Give him his full name.
His full name is Robert Adolph Enyart. Adolph. And his birth date is 1/10/59.
Yeah.
And would you like his social too?
Yes.
Okay, 152-60-4382. And we put all this stuff on the internet too. His FBI number, I'll give you that. It is FBI number is 67853 2L as in love A7.
And then
Can you say you were a part of his cult? What do you mean by that? Did you go to his church?
Yeah, we were a part of his church when we thought it was a pro-life church, because that's what it's represented as. It's a Bible. It's called Denver Bible Church, and so we're a family with 6 kids now, and we are pro-life, and we just thought that it was a good church. And then when we saw a bunch of hypocrisy and breakdown within the church, we found out that the pastor was meeting with one of the elders' wives to encourage her to get divorced, and we were trying to save the marriage. This was last year, and because we tried to save that marriage, there was a significant amount of money involved, lots of money that was involved, and we got in the way of that. And they targeted us and tried to take our kids away. And then we left, and we're like, what were we involved in? And then little by little, they just kept attacking us. They made a bunch of hate pages about us. I mean, they are no strangers to defamation or libel or slander. They put all these sophisticated, organized, professional-looking blogs and Facebook hate pages against us. I mean, they were dedicated for months to trashing our family, and we just started tracking them. We started following their IP addresses and snapshotting everything and collecting evidence, and day by day, a year later, we were well into discovering that they are serial killers, and that and then little by little, we started looking into the JonBenet case, and it was a political statement straight out of the textbook for these guys, and this was perfect. And we kept trying to poke holes in it, and we did our own investigation. We're no professionals here, but we know these people, we know these criminals, and we become.
Have you seen them? Have you seen him or anyone in his any of his associates kill or harm any kids?
No, I've not seen that. No.
But
he is a convicted child abuser, and that's on record. I've never seen him with my own eyes, but obviously you don't see a lot of crime with your own eyes. You can tell by the post-murder behavior, but the way people act after they murder someone, you can tell by their hypocrisy and by their lies. And when someone is calling you a murderer and you don't deny it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, here's the deal. Say I'm making this shit up. Excuse my language. Go talk to him. Go get him in a room and ask him the questions. He'll lie right to your face.
Yep.
And you guys are, and ask him all about us. He'll tell you that we're paranoid and delusional, that we're mentally ill, that we're drug addicts, and we've fallen off the deep end. That's his base. That's all he can do is tell everybody that we're mentally ill, because obviously because we have the truth about him, and he's scared of us. He's a serial killer. He's the most evil serial killer that he's all of them combined, from H.H. Holmes to Charles Manson to BTK to John Wayne Gacy, David Parker Ray. He's all of them combined. He is no joke. He is no joke. And you guys got to take me seriously. I've been screaming bloody murder all year. And then bloody murder happened. Okay.
Have you called any? Who else have you?
Oh, we've talked to Westminster, Northland, Thornton. We've talked to Boulder. We haven't directly talked to the FBI because they were going to come to us, and then SIG got into the picture, and that threw the whole investigation off. But we've talked to El Paso. We've talked to everybody that we can. And we've talked to social services, Jefferson County, Adams County. We've done our part to put out the word, and it's such a massive sting that. Let me tell you this too, that there's a dirty cop on the team, which is part of the problem. He's in Arapahoe County. It's a sheriff's deputy. He's a K-9 unit. His name is Gordon Carroll, and he's been a partner with Bob for at least 20 years. And we believe that it was his stun gun and his high-tech boot, possibly, that was at the scene of the crime, or it was Doug McBurney's because he's in the military. Nonetheless, there's a dirty cop.
He's an elder.
And
Which scene of the crime?
JonBenet Ramsey.
JonBenet, right?
Yeah, but he's an elder of Bob's church, and his brother runs some theology online forum, which is a spy forum where they use to track people's IP addresses and gather information about it's not theology. It's basically if you say anything negative about Bob Enyart, then you're targeted, and since they could track people's IP addresses, they can make people disappear and target people and harass them to a point to where they just be quiet, basically, which has worked plenty of times. It just hasn't worked with us.
Daniel, what's your last name?
Kekoa, Kekoa.
Kek.
O as an octopus, A. Kekoa.
Okay, gotcha. And where you live?
Northglenn.
What's your address?
865 West 97th Avenue.
Okay. Is that Arvada? Or?
That's in Northglenn. Denver, North Denver.
Okay. All right, I think I've got everything I need here, and
Great.
And,
Email address?
I'll get this information forwarded to FBI
Okay.
and see what we can come up with.
Okay, do you want me to email you anything, or is there any, because I've emailed Boulder a bunch of stuff. I can send you some of stuff. We have timeline of events. I mean, this is really serious, and we kind of need to hear from somebody that something's going to happen, because we have 6 kids that are being threatened. We have our own lives that are being threatened, and we have a whole city and state full of children that are at risk because of these criminals who are parading around as pro-life Christians. Let's be straight, that this is very dangerous.
And now you've called the authorities in your area in reference being threatened?
Yes.
What has happened?
Well, all year they've said this was silly and they haven't taken us seriously, and we filed multiple reports, and then when we finally got the last death threat about raping our dead body and finding our mutilated torso and decapitating us, my husband went down and talked to Officer D. Giovanni for 2 hours in an interrogation room and made him record everything, and we haven't heard anything. That was a month ago, and so as far as we know, they're working on it. As far as we know.
What's his name? Officer who?
D. Giovanni.
D. Giovanni. Okay. With who?
Northglenn. It's with Northglenn. He's not the detective on the case, but he was just the officer who took everything.
Okay.
The detective is Jay Davidson, but frankly, he's a douche. He called it silly, and he doesn't seem to care. So I can give you D. Giovanni's number.
Go ahead.
It's 303-450-8892.
Okay. And the police number too.
And that is the police, and his extension is 8341. Police
number.
Oh, okay. And his police number is number 341. Yeah, I guess 8341. So.
Okay, and make sure I have your first name spelled right. Danielle.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got all of this taken down here in notes, and I'll get this forwarded.
Okay.
And I've got other calls to answer. And we've got a lot of tips. So.
Okay.
I appreciate your call.
Okay. Can I get your name again, officer?
Yes, Tom.
Okay.
Cowing.
Okay, spell that for me.
Cowing.
Oh, Cowing. Okay, and is there an email address?
Yeah, you email me at cowingtr.
Okay.
At co.laplata.co.us.
.co.us. Okay. Okay, so that's cowingtr at co.laplata.co.us.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, officer.
Okay.
All right, hope you find them. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.